Hi, this is Matt from tracyandmatt.co.uk and for unboxings.com. Here I have the Sony Ericsson W205, one of the more basic handsets in the Walkman range. As you can see, it's an extremely small box, probably one of the smallest that I've seen for a mobile phone. Let's just have a look inside. So first of all, we have the handset, which is obviously quite small. We'll look at that in just a few moments. We have a headset. Open up. So fairly standard Sony Ericsson style connector on one end there. Have an inline microphone. No push button as far as I can tell. No push button. It is just an inline microphone by the looks of it there. No volume control. And then we have some fairly basic headphones on the other end. Then have a battery, which is fairly small. It is a 950 milliamp hour battery. That's the charger. Again, has the Sony Ericsson style proprietary connector on that. Fairly common amongst Sony Ericsson handsets though. And then we have all the documentation. So we have SAR information, important information, which presumably is getting started information and compliance. And then we have a user guide, which is more of a leaflet than a manual, but that's also in the box. I suppose Sony Ericsson should be congratulated for actually keeping the packaging to a minimum. So I suppose that's a good thing, especially sort of in this day and age. So the handset itself is, as I say, quite small. It weighs only 80 grams in total. On the front then we have a 1.8 inch display, quite, as I say, quite small. It is 128 by 160 pixels, which in terms of pixel real estate is probably one of the smallest displays that I've seen, certainly for some time, and it doesn't seem to be a particularly standard size. 128 by 160 is fairly unusual. But below that then we have the D-pad style sort of navigation area with the media controls for skipping tracks, opening up the Walkman software, play and pause. Then we have the phone keys on either side, a couple of soft keys, and a back and a clear button. On the underneath, as the screen slides open, we have a numeric keypad. Keys are very flat, quite flush to display, and fairly small, but they are fairly positive. They have a fairly tactile feel to them, but they are not individual, so maybe texting single-handedly might be more difficult because of the size and the arrangement of the keys. Must say that the mechanism is quite loose and doesn't feel particularly positive, but then again we are looking at a fairly entry-level handset, so let's just bear that in mind. On the left hand side then we have an up and down volume control rocker, and then the connector there, which is obviously where we plug in the headset, the charger, and a USB cable if we have one. Doesn't come with the pack, but if you want to sort of connect up to your PC to transfer music and so on, you'll need a USB cable. It doesn't come in the box though. Nothing on the bottom at all that I can see there. I can't even see the microphone socket hole there, but it's there somewhere. So on the right hand side then we have a cover under which we have an M2 micro socket. Doesn't come with a memory card though, but you're definitely going to want to invest in a memory card, almost certainly, unless you literally only want to use this handset as a phone. You're going to want a memory card because there's only 5 meg of built-in memory that you can use. So if you're going to take a few pictures, put a couple of songs on there, you're going to use up that 5 meg in absolutely no time. So invest in a memory card. Nothing really to speak of on the top. There is a couple of eyelets there that you can connect a phone charger or a lanyard. On the back we have a fairly rudimentary camera. It's 1.3 megapixels, no flash, it's not autofocus, it's fixed focus. No mirror for self-portraits, but that's not really the end of the world. But it is only 1.3 megapixel, fairly basic. But then again, this handset isn't really designed for obviously photos. It's a Walkman style handset. So underneath we have space for the SIM card, and obviously our battery pops in like so, and then the back cover pops on like that. And if we just power on, and we just wait for that to start up, Quick rundown of the rest of the spec. It is extremely lightweight, as I mentioned already. Size wise, we've got 92mm from top to bottom, just 47mm wide and 16.4mm thick. There is a built-in vibrate function, and obviously you can store your contacts, up to 1,000 contacts apparently. GPRS and Edge, but no HSDPA or 3G connectivity. Bluetooth 2 with EDR support, no infrared. There is obviously USB, so you can transfer your music and your videos. Built-in FM radio with RDS. Has downloadable games and does support, fairly basic Java applications. Standby time listed at 425 hours and talk time up to 9 hours. And music playback is actually listed at 13 hours and 30 minutes. So presumably that means you would sacrifice your talk time, obviously, but there we go. So as you can see, the display is extremely small, not particularly bright, not particularly high res, as you can see, but I can't actually give you much more of a preview at this time because it's telling me that I don't have a SIM card, and I don't appear to be able to do anything without a SIM card installed, which is a bit of a shame. I can make emergency phone calls, and that looks to be about it. So in order to see this in any more detail, we're going to have to install a SIM card. So if you come back to tracyandmatt.co.uk over the next couple of days, we'll have a full review for you of the Sony Ericsson W205. And if you're a fan of unboxing videos, come over to unboxings.com where you can see the others that we have.